There is no future for people who deny their past. My foreparents, my grandparents.
Welcome to the Final Boss Podcast, your ultimate destination for urban culture, community vibes, and live conversations with the movers and shakers of the streets. Join us as we explore the rhythm of one beat at a time. Let's get the show started. Turn up the volume, sit back and relax, and welcome to the Final Boss Podcast, hosted by Turbo, the CEO, and follow us on all social media platforms.
You're listening to the Final Boss Podcast.
Welcome to Sunday night's edition of the Final Boss Podcast. Tonight, we have a great show for you guys. Episode number 82. And we're going to call this one 1984. 1984. And before we get into that, I have to tell you, listen. To my smarts, to my final bosses, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. There's no other support system like you guys. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. We're starting to get great feedback. We're getting fan letters. This vehicle is moving. I got my seatbelt on. I want you guys to buckle up because we're moving. We're headed to our destination and it's not stopping. So thank you so much. Also, big shout out to my man, J. Marcus Howard, who was on the episode for special guest last Thursday. We're going to call that episode Interference Gate. That's what we're going to call it. We'll call it Interference Gate. We had a lot of audio issues early on, but he was able to hold down the fort and keep it moving. I think it affected some of our numbers, but it's some great content, man. If you have not seen that episode, go back and watch episode 81 with special guest J. Marcus Howard. The interference is early on. Get past that. The rest of the show, impeccable, immaculate, superb, perfecto. Listen, these type of things happen. We're live. I saw a broadcast the other day where a newscaster, and it's not the first time, passed out on air. In these type of situations, you can't panic. The show must embody itself and go on. The final boss will go on. So thank you for him for holding down the fort and getting things rocking and rolling. Shout out to J. Marcus Howard. I appreciate you. And to my fans who are sending in the fan letters, thank you so much, man. If you want to send one or some, or you want to get in contact with us, hit us at info@thefinalbosspodcast.com. That's the email. I know y'all still using email. Shoot us an email at info@thefinalbosspodcast.com. Also, you can always DM us on social media. We're on all platforms. Mostly. We're on Facebook, StreamYard, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, and more on the way. I'm working on that. I think I'm going to hold off until season 3. But we're putting some things together right now as we speak for season 3, man. Season 3 is going to be crazy. Season 3 is going to be crazy. But to my smarts and to my final bosses, thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate you guys. You guys are incredible. I haven't get for those who are just tuning in, we're gonna get into the brass tacks in a few. If you don't know what the brass tacks are, brass tacks is I read a quote from someone influential or a celebrity or somebody who's top tier in their field, and it leads the way for how the show goes and flows for the night. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to each and every last one of you who are tuning in all over the world. And whatever time zone you're watching, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can't thank you enough, man. I'm overjoyed. I'm truly, truly overjoyed. And my team, we are ecstatic about just everything. Just everything, man. And before we get into tonight's show, I have to give a disclaimer, of course. Listen, this is for entertainment purposes only. And I might say that a few times throughout the show. I'm going to make that a jingle. This is for entertainment purposes only. Yeah, I'm going to keep my day job. Yeah, I let one of the professionals handle that. Hey, Earl, if you out there, you listening, bro, that's a shout out to you. We got a great show tonight. Tonight's show, 1984. And it's going to be a mix of information, and we're going to chart back and forth between talking about George Orwell's 1984 and the concepts within that movie and book and how it relates to today. But basically what we're going to be talking about is the media, mainstream media. I say again, mainstream media. And I hope I don't get hit with no good conduct, good standing, whatever community standards, because I'm not saying anything against anyone. What I'm laying down is an outline of things that are actually happening. So we're going to be talking about how mainstream media is, I'm going to say, having a blind eye to other media platforms, whereas other media platforms, you get on the spot news. You get news at your fingertips, right? Things are happening, people are recording, and it's becoming news right there on the spot. Mainstream media, they don't get it for a day or two or even longer, maybe a week, and then they're talking about it after it's gone viral. But not every situation goes viral. So that's what tonight's show is about, man. And my allergies are bothering me. So if you see me playing with my nose, it's my allergies, man. And my I got sinuses too. But the pollen in this area is crazy. It is absolutely insane. But let's get right into it. That was my admin notes for the night. And tonight's brass tacks comes from, you know what? It's been trending in the news. The Pope has been trending in the news since the passing of the I believe it's Pope, the passing of Pope Francis. Don't quote me on that. I know I should know this. Right now, I'm drawing a blank. I can't remember his name. But so Please forgive me. But this is his quote. This quote is coming from Pope Francis. And here it is. The media only writes about the sinners and the scandals, he said. But that's normal because a tree that falls makes more noise than a forest that grows. I'm going to read that again. So y'all not feeling me on that. I'm going to read that again. A tree that falls makes more noise than a forest that grows. Listen to that, right? Man. Whew. Dropping them gems on you. I've talked to a few of my professional friends and people who are in their top tier in their spaces, and they gave me some good feedback that I've been slowly implementing and adding to the Final Boss podcast. So you're going to see a few changes, or if you have already noticed, I've made several changes, but more is to come, man. If you give me feedback, and the feedback I deem that is warranted for action by yours truly, I will definitely implement. So, thank you. But let's get into today's topic. Today, let me. I get hot. I get really hot, man. I'm surrounded. Y'all can't see. Y'all can't see, but I'm surrounded by lights. You see how my head is glistening right now, man? You see, I'm surrounded by these lights, man. These lights get really, really hot. So for the sake of not running a fan or air conditioner so I won't get interference, I'm with you guys for a whole hour. Hot. It gets hot. But let's talk about it. 1984. That's tonight's title. And that's tonight's show. Episode number 82. We're going to dwell into a chilling parallel between George Orwell's 1984 and the contemporary media landscape. We'll be dissecting how mainstream medias struggle to acknowledge the speed, I say again, the speed and influence of non-mainstream platforms. Mainstream platforms is shaping public perception, fostering a subject I always talk about, echo chambers, fostering in echo chambers, and potentially undermining governmental processes. We're going to explore all of these things in historical context, along with technological drivers that can implicate the future of the informed. That's what we're going to be talking about. So let's start with Orwell's 1984. Orwell's 1984. Listen, if you have not read the book 1984, or if you have not seen the movie 1984, go catch up on it. To my smarts and my final bosses, go catch up on it. So, Orwell's 1984 wasn't just a fictional tale. It was a warning. It was a warning. The party's control over information, we're talking about the movie, wasn't merely about suppressing dissent. It was about shaping reality itself. The political party in the movie was called the Ministry of Truth. The Ministry of Truth didn't just disseminate propaganda, it actively rewrote history, creating a manufactured reality that served the party's interests. This manipulation extended beyond overt propaganda to the subtle control of language, manipulation of emotional responses, and the suppression of independent thought. Seen a lot of movies like that, these dystopian tales of the future. The parallels to today's media environment are striking, particularly in ways narratives are constructed and disseminated. I'm gonna let you guys take that all in. I'm gonna let you take that all in, right? I just said a mouthful. And for you people out there with the pauses after every statement, listen, don't do that, man. Not on there. I'm providing knowledge. We're not trying to sexualize every statement. So I don't have time for that. Listen. And that's no shot at to anybody who likes to do what they do. That's what they do. You know, just don't do it over here. We set up parameters and borders over here, and we get down to the brass tacks and the business. And the business of tonight, 1984. You know, the internet and social media have fundamentally altered the flow of information. Now, this isn't an attack on the internet. It's not an attack on social media. I'm simply laying out the blueprint of the subject at hand. The internet and social media have fundamentally altered the flow of information. Now, sometimes in my cadence, I'll repeat stuff because I want you to get it. I want you to take notes. I want you to see. I want you to hear what I'm saying. I want you to feel what I'm saying. I want you to have like an emotional connection to what I'm saying, right? Cadence is very important. It's how you deliver a message verbally, and the sound influence and emotional response back to those who are listening. And that would be you, my smarts, my final bosses, and those who are not the smarts and final bosses yet. We're not gonna hold that against you. I know you guys are coming. I know that for a fact. But listen up. No longer are a few powerful media outlets the sole gatekeepers of news and information. We're going to talk about gatekeeping. Gatekeeping. We don't gatekeep over here. But gatekeeping, man. There's a lot of gatekeepers out there, right? They want to hold on. They don't want you to progress, right? They want to hold on to the information. They want to hold on to the secrets. Gatekeepers. Let's get back into it. Platforms like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and countless independent blogs allow individuals and groups such as yourself to bypass traditional media channels. Hence why we're here. The Final Boss and the Final Boss podcast. This information disseminating or disseminating information directly to their audience at an unprecedented speed, right at your fingertips. This decentralization has empowered citizen journalism. You know, I was thinking the other day, I was like, man, you know, the Final Boss podcast is not only a podcast, but it's a media entertainment and media entertainment LLC and much more. But I never thought to myself that I would be a journalist. But if you look at the definition of journalist, I guess I could be considered to be an on-air journalist. I never thought about it. But then when I started thinking about it and looking at the definition, I was like, I'm providing information. That's truth. I'm doing research. I provide resources and references. And I'm disseminating information as I receive it, or that I deem that's necessary for it to be received back to you, the viewers, the podcast people, the Final Bosses, and to my smarts. So, in a way, I guess I am a journalist, which is crazy. Never thought about it. But more so, the new definition, citizen journalism, which is rapidly growing. It's growing to an unprecedented number. It's incredible. Enabling rapid dissemination of on-the-ground reports and perspectives, often overlooked by mainstream media. However, this also creates challenges in verifying information and combating misinformation. There it is. Misinformation. You've heard all of the different talking points. Oh, it's fake news. All of those talking points. You hear about it. It's right there in your face. It's so much so you can't ignore it. The verbiage that is being disseminated has such an effect that it affects viewership across a lot of these media channels, but also it's grossly showing how through verbal dissemination, how different things can be manipulated, such as the stock market. But that's for another show. That's for another show. I know I'm getting down and dirty with it. But that's what we do on the Final Boss podcast, man. We talk about the most difficult of conversations. The most difficult of conversations. I want to adjust my camera a little bit. Right there. Wait, I don't want it to. Right there. Okay, cool. Mainstream media outlets accustomed, or I should say, are accustomed, to a slower, more controlled news cycle. We know this. We see this. This is what's been happening. And that business model can't no longer sustain on that path. I'm telling you, it's a dead business model. It's a dead business model. With all the citizen journalism that's happening and on the spot news creation, that business model is dying. People want news immediately when it's happening, right then and there. And they're struggling. They are struggling. They're struggling to keep up pace, man. They are really struggling to keep up pace with the rapid dissemination of information on non-mainstream platforms. They're struggling. This lag, I'm going to call it lag, creates a critical disconnect between the narratives presented by established media and the realities experienced by many. The 24/7 news cycle, coupled with the pressure to be first, like the three-letter entity that starts with Tango and ends with Zebra. I don't want to get hit, so I'm not going to. But y'all know what it is. My smarts, Final Boss, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's a three-letter media platform, right? They want to be first. They pay people to be first with their information. They're buying news. Tango, Zebra. That's what I'm giving y'all. And y'all got to figure the rest out. Those platforms can lead to hasty reporting. Example, people have been said to be unalived that aren't unalived. You've seen it. It happens, and then it's disregarded. And then there's a story that come out, oh, we apologize, or blah, blah, or they come up with, it was a mistake. Oh, it slipped out. Really? Really? Did it slip out? You have to ask yourself that. They're just covering, right? Nothing slips out. There are systems in place for things not to happen. There's systems in place. Some of these apps are built with parameters that don't allow you to be able to just push something out. You got to put passwords in. You got to have confirmations. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. That one app that touched on one of our government agencies, that's not how that app works. People have to be confirmed You just can't go on there and say, hey, let me add this person. I'm going to add this person. I'm going to add this person. And now they're part of it. Don't work like that, man. Anybody that knows about certain apps, it does not work like that. Stop falling for that banana, man. Stop falling for the banana. But, you know, these hasty reportings and a reliance on easily accessible information, potentially overlooking crucial details or alternative perspectives. This right here can result in incomplete or biased narratives, further eroding public trust. It was easy. When you create doubt, when people are so embedded and believing what they're seeing and hearing is trustworthy, it's easy to create doubt because you are not going out there doing your own research. You aren't going out there getting the information for yourself. It was easy because you relied so heavy on the information that was presented to you, and it was presented to you as truth. It was easy for somebody to come in and create doubt. And because of that, now you see the main broadcasting of how prevalent misinformation is, but not only that, how information is further eroding public trust. Now, I'm going to add another variable to that. Now you add in AI. Again, AI, I'm your friend. I'm pro AI. Listen, I'm your friend. But when you add AI and the people who are utilizing the AI are utilizing it in malicious ways, in ways that they know to manipulate you. I see people all the time on different threads and also I can't tell if AI is real or fake. I don't know if this is AI or I don't know if this is reality. That's the path we're on. So this disconnect between mainstream and non-mainstream media contributes to the formation of what? Echo chambers. Individuals increasingly consuming information that confirms their pre-existing beliefs, identity politics, reinforcing biases, and limiting exposure to diverse perspectives. You need diversity. I keep saying that, man. I think this series, I at first, it didn't look like a series, but more and more as each episode, I'm starting to say, you know what? This is actually a series because the talking points are intertwined. I was just talking about diverse perspectives on the last 3 shows. So go back and watch the last 3 episodes of the Final Boss podcast, episodes 81, 80, and 79, and you will see the importance of how diverse perspectives are important. They are important. Algorithmic curation on social media platforms further exacerbates that effect. What effect? Echo chambers. What's an echo chamber? For those who don't know, It's creating a filter bubble or filterless bubble, right? That isolates users such as yourself within your own ideological voice. This polarization can lead to political extremism. You see it happening around the world. Political extremism, identity politics. 2 episodes ago, identity politics. It also creates social fragmentations and an inability to engage in constructive dialogue across differing viewpoints. That's dangerous. And it's happening. I hear people all the time who say they can't have a conversation with a certain group of people. But I also hear a certain group of people can't have a conversation with others. That's dangerous. The parallels in that, unbelievable. We're talking about weaponized information. Weaponized information. The rapid spread of information also facilitates that very thing. Weaponization of misinformation and disinformation. It can be false or misleading narratives that are often designed to manipulate your opinion or sow discord. The information can be spread rapidly on social media, potentially influencing decisions, inciting violence, and undermining governmental processes. Think about that. Think about that. The challenge lies not only in identifying and debunking these false narratives, but also in understanding the motivations and strategies behind their creation. And with that, their dissemination. This requires a multifaceted approach involving media literacy, education, fact-checking initiatives. Why do you think they're getting rid of that stuff? They want you to be misinformed. They want you to be misled. They want you to be cloudy and unclear, right? They don't want you to be able to uphold a platform and press on them for accountability. They don't want that. They don't want that because it makes them accountable. They're taking an easy road. It's easy to manipulate you than tell you the truth. Weaponized information. You got to understand these algorithms, man. You got to understand these algorithms. It's not a trending word. It's a thing that is real. Social media algorithms are designed to maximize your engagement. They are designed to maximize your engagement. Oftentimes, inadvertently, they will reinforce existing biases. Why? Because of the echo chambers. These algorithms prioritize content that aligns with you and your past behavior and your preferences. That's what it's about. Creating these filter bubbles that limit exposure to diverse perspectives. They can have a profound consequence. They can limit opportunities, and they also can limit your ability to critically think. They're taking away your ability to critically think. You see a lot of people talking about they're crashing out. They're crashing out. They lack the ability to make informed decisions. You have to understand how these algorithms function and how they're set up for potential biases that are crucial for navigating your social media and information landscape. You have to understand what this is all about. These algorithms, how they work. We need fact-checking organizations with high-level ethics to play a vital role in combating this information. But they face significant scrutiny as well, and challenges, right? Because who's doing the fact checking? Are the fact checkers? Does the fact checkers have fact checkers? I don't know why I couldn't get that out. Do the fact checkers have fact checkers? Oh, that's crazy. The sheer volume of information circulating online makes it difficult to keep pace with the spread of false narratives. Literally impossible by us humans. But you add a little bit of ethical fact-checking AI or AGI or ASI, taking away the human factor. Now we're talking about something. All right. Furthermore, fact-checking itself can be subject to biases. This is true. This is true. It all depends on the effectiveness of who's doing the fact checking. The willingness of individuals to accept and act on verified information and fight against misinformation requires a multi-pronged approach involving not only fact checking, but also media literacy, education, and again, platform, social media, accountability. But who's going to do that? Right? It's needed. It's needed. It is needed. In this complex information environment, media literacy is paramount. Individuals need to develop critical thinking skills to evaluate the credibility of information sources, identity biases, and discern truth from falsehood. This involves understanding different types of media biases, recognizing propaganda techniques, that's important, and evaluating the evidence presented. Media literacy education should be a priority. Equipping individuals with the tools they need to navigate the digital information landscape effectively. Right? Now, responsibilities. Governments face a delicate balancing act, regulating online platforms to combat misinformation without infringing on freedom of speech. Think about that, right? How is that going to happen? That's going to be interesting. This might involve navigating complex legal and ethical considerations, finding a balance between protecting individuals from harmful misinformation and preserving the principles of free expression is a significant challenge. Almost seem impossible, if you will. Different countries have adapted varying approaches, such as leading to ongoing debates about the appropriate level of government intervention. Nobody wants the government to rain down on their freedom of speech, right? But without government interference or putting pressure on these platforms to attack misinformation, the public erosion and trust will grow out of control. There's a rapid decline right now in trust in the mainstream media. I mentioned it earlier. Fake news. The distrust in mainstream media has created a vacuum. a vacuum, leading many to seek information from alternative sources. Ta-da! If those sources are unreliable or biased, then what? Then this erosion that I'm speaking of trust has significant consequences for democratic societies, undermining informed decision making and potentially leading to political instability. To restore public trust will require a commitment to journalistic integrity, transparency, and of course, accountability. You have to have accountability, man. You have to have accountability. You have to have it. History, I like talking about history. I'm a history buff. History, right? History offers numerous examples of how governments and powerful entities have manipulated information to control the populace. Y'all finished pondering on what I just said? I ain't finished yet. I got 8 minutes. From totalitarian regimes to wartime propaganda campaigns. Just talked about that on the last episode. Go check it out. Wartime propaganda campaigns. The suppression of dissent and the manipulation of narratives have been reoccurring themes. I talked about that in identity politics. I talked about that in episode Identity Politics. These themes aren't new. They've been occurring since the beginning of time. But when you examine these historical parallels, the information provides valuable insights into the enduring power of narrative control and the importance of critical thinking. The future is here. The future is now. The future is now. I say again, the future is now. The future of media is uncertain. That lag business model that I spoke of early on in this episode, that business model cannot continue to exist in its current state. There's going to need to be a huge revamping because the public trust in that information dwindles daily. You have to ask yourself, will mainstream media adapt to this changing environment? The changing of the guard, the changing of information in this landscape. Or will it continue to lose relevance? How would technology shape the future of news, information, and how it's disseminated? Think about it. The rise of AI. Again, AI, I'm your friend. I am pro AI. The rise of AI. To include the multiverse, AR, if you don't know what AR is, AR is alternate reality, right? And other emerging technologies. These will likely further transform the media landscape, presenting both, I say again, both opportunities and challenges. But at the same time as these things are taking place, there needs to be individual responsibility. An individual, that's you. I'm pointing at you. And my mama told me it was impolite to point, but I'm pointing anyway tonight. Mom, do you see this? It's for a reason. Don't get on me. I can hear her now. Shout out to my mom. And listen, shout out to all the mothers out there on Mother's Day, man. I know it's almost over, but shout out to all the mothers on Mother's Day, especially my beautiful mama. I love you, Ma. I love you. Yes, I do. Individual responsibility is necessary in anything, but more importantly about what we're talking about tonight in this digital age. Individuals such as yourself bear a significant responsibility for critically evaluating the information you consume. Stop doom scrolling. Stop doom scrolling. It's your responsibility to make sure that the information you're receiving is not only legit, tangible, but it's real information. It's up to you. We must cultivate media literacy, seek diverse perspectives, and actively combat the misinformation. This will involve engaging in thoughtful discourse, challenging biased narratives, and promoting fact-based information. Boom. Fact-based information. The parallels between Orwell's dystopian vision and our current reality are deeply concerning. We must remain vigilant, fostering critical thinking, actively engaging in the fight for truth, and promoting informed discourse. The future of our societies depend on it. That's our show tonight. I am the Final Boss. This is the Final Boss Podcast. Thank you for joining us. I hope you guys have an amazing week. I need you to be balanced, be equal, and be smart. Continue on the path of social responsibility. Because ultimately, it relies back on you, the user, the individual, the person who's receiving the information and not dissecting it. Ultimately, it falls back on you. We have to stop giving the government the power to rule us. They're supposed to be working for us. We elect them. They're not chosen. We elect those individuals to work for us, to work for our needs, to work for the things, the social causes, and many diverse actions, as we are a diverse populace. They're not supposed to see color. It's not supposed to be about one particular people. It's supposed to be for all. And that's our show. Come back this Tuesday with the Sensei. We got a great show for you. Episode number 83. And then this Thursday, special guest this Thursday. Special guest this Thursday. I'm not going to drop his name. I did once. I'm not going to drop his name. But you'll be seeing the promo video coming from this individual who I highly regard. Highly regard, man. He's going to be on this Thursday. This Thursday. That's our time for tonight. I hope you have enjoyed the show. I hope you took some notes. I hope you understand the importance of the information that is being disseminated to you in true form. Truth is absolute in truth form. Y'all have an amazing week, man. Have an amazing week. Be good. Be good to one another. And as I sign off, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Oh, go get some merch. 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 The merch site is www.thefinalbosspodcast.com. One word. I'm going to figure out how to drop it in one of these links. I just haven't played with it yet, but I get that to you. I would get that to you. Send us some feedback. Like, share, subscribe, send stars. Send us some feedback at info@thefinalbosspodcast.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to be dropping clips. We're going to be changing the format a little bit in the near future. A lot of things are coming for season 3. We are a long way from season 3, but a lot of things are going to change in season 3. So, y'all, man, continue to support us. We greatly appreciate you. Until then, until next time, have a good one.